Uh, Greetings to my you know, few people who believe in what I'm saying, and this is a late, probably the latest discovery I've had, and it's major ever since I want to say a couple days ago. So obviously, it's a major one in my life. Obviously, so this is it turns out I was wrong about just how the human brain can handle what's it, how it can handle lacking knowledge about things that a person has, or you could say lacking awareness if it does this of things that the person has done that are really basic things that are not major things, but if you accumulate a lack of awareness of them, it can hurt your brain. Going by what I said about the brain in the past few videos, in other ones, it's implied that this is possible. Even if you sit there and you say, I'm not limiting the possibilities here of what I've done in my life each day prior. I don't remember all the little things, but I'm not going to assume that I didn't do these a certain. It could be a category of things you say that you could have done, and you're right to believe it, but that could still hurt your brain. Be, literally lots of things that are little things that there are little things that you've done that are basic things, and if they come together and you can't remember them, they come together in your brain and they will lobotomize certain structures in your brain, honestly, quite literally. You cannot feel this or see it or hear it, but it happens. So it's not just an issue to lie, to have lies, that to be lying to yourself, your brain to be lying, having lying in it, that hurts the brain. But what also can hurt is, and this hasn't happened really, in my life at least, and that's having a long list of things, little things I've done each day of my life prior to any day, and forgetting some of the things, forgetting a lot of little things, and it's not when this happens, it's not me assuming that there's no way that I didn't do the things. Like if I forgot the little things I did in elementary, so a lot of them when I was at home by myself. Well, if I say there's a possibility that I did some of the things that realistically I would have done, and that could still hurt because I don't know specifically what I did. If I don't narrow in, if I'm narrowly off the mark, it can hurt the brain because it's there's still some kind of lies happening that are causing this to happen, but it's not a direct lie about the phenomena of which I had been my behavior. I'm not assuming a lie about it directly. It's more indirect lies, so it can hurt. But apparently in my life this hasn't happened with those sorts of things I've forgotten. Not even with a bunch of them it hasn't. So, but I think that with enough over time, can begin to hurt your brain. So I think it's not really safe to go through life without remembering all the little things you've done each day of your life. And if you add that up over a long period of time, it can start to hurt your brain. But this got me thinking about how I was probably wrong to say that neurotypicals have. Originally, I said this years ago. And I believe this until today. I've been believing. Until today, I really made the mistake of thinking that neurotypicals have not been writing down every day what they've been doing with all the little things. At the end of the day, I think they've been doing it every day. But originally, I argued that I don't think they would do this because I just said it's something they wouldn't care about. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that. They probably would say I was right to originally argue that most people teach that it's not going to hurt your brain if you don't know. But that doesn't mean they necessarily wouldn't write down all the stuff each day that they did. There were little things. Just because it's going to make it easier for them to remember the big things that they already have trouble with remembering. And like I said originally, I've never had to write them down. I personally just remember them without writing them down, but that's just how my brain is able to handle processing such large chunks of information at the same time. What else can I say? I just think that there's pretty much there's pretty much just like when I say this, that's pretty much it. I just think that there is really no and that's about it. Like, just do what you will with that information. The only other thing I was going to say is that I think that there's like it's easier to remember the stuff if you write it down, honestly. And I haven't done that every day, but I think I'm just going to start do a practice of starting to write it down to make it easier. Not that I have to, but I may as well. Honestly, and I just think that there's how to say this. I think that if people, like I originally said, if people don't think it's important because they've taught, like generation by generation that like you don't need to remember the less important stuff. Like they've been honest about that, but common family's been honest about that with each other, person by person. So to try to make sure like they're smarter, or help them be smart. But like if that's true, like I'm just gonna say that there's pretty much like, when I say this, like if your brain is like mine has been, then it's like gonna need to, you pretty much, do what every other brain does, even neurotypical brains, and that's, like categorize information with like uh, whatever you can. So it just makes, like, I need to just I've noticed myself forgetting certain things I've been doing, honestly, for certain little things that I've been doing for quite a while, but not every little thing that I've done each day, but quite a few. So, yeah, I'd say, like, in life it's important to just, which, a lot of which hasn't really caused any brain issues or hurting in the brain, but it could. It got me thinking, and then realized that it could happen over time. And so yeah. But so far from what's happened, it hasn't caused any. But I may as well start writing down each thing, so I can have a record for it. That way, I'll never get to a point where it does start to hurt, where I start to reach an amount of things I don't remember that starts to hurt. So, yeah, and but yeah, I think a lot of everyday people would take it seriously, to be honest about, with most families, to make sure they are smarter and make them, do the stuff I was saying. So yeah, I think that's about it. For the reasons I said originally, yeah, of course, they'd be honest. And yeah, that's about it. But thanks for watching. Bye.